Whispering winds guide me to the shore. The stars aligned like never before. My heart's at the helm, sailing on a cool breeze. This is my realm, living with these blue waves of love. Baby, please stay. We're more than enough. Climb on board, sail away. Hot passion so free, bright shiny gold. When I'm with you, life's so big and so bold. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. Still waters run deep, crash open and brave. I'm yours to keep, you're my tidal wave. We'll drown our tears, wash away those fears. I'm loving you wide, warm and free. Skip through the tide, come out to the deep sea. Yeah, hold on tight and let go, you see. Just like a rainbow, you gotta trust the flow. We are so much more than we'll ever know. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. Rocking through the wave, our love will save. Rolling through the curl, you know I'm your girl. Sunset so cool, kick back is our rule. To swim is to find, let it shine. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so slow. It's that soul club, taking it fast, loving it so
Welcome to Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host as always, Jeremy, and I promise to pull your heartstrings enough to make your soul glow. Stand by me and give me a reason to hope we're invincible. Otherwise, it'll be up in smoke and bang, bang, bang. My co-host, though, is calling you out all over the Subcity. He's heard you have been telling stories about his tries to earn his keep. Thankfully, he has armored wings to make through the storm. And say, me without you is my Paragon in the calm. Chancy motherfucking Grife.
Hi.
And that's right, folks. Your musers are back, and you may know
That's the first time that bombed. Nice. We need to record that. That's the first time that actually bombed. I'm so stoked about this. She didn't laugh. She didn't laugh.
I'm so impressed. My mouth was. I couldn't speak. I was speechless for a change. No, I seriously.
No, I as I was going to say that, as you may have heard, listeners, that wasn't the usual raunchy bomb intro you're used to me doing on every show. But I mean, it's just. This episode has a special purpose, and the intro had to be a little more soulful to the heart, kind of, because this is a special episode. We've done theme episodes once or twice, but this one's a new one, and it's going to be awesome, I believe. We are paying tribute to amazing female singers in this episode. And you'll find out why in just 1 second, because our guest this week is Tina Rose. And she is a singer and songwriter. What kind of singer I don't want to say, because I don't want to say the wrong genre. Because I have a couple in mind, it could be. But I'll let her tell you. Tina, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm so glad to be here. I was looking forward to this. So yeah, this is I don't know, I'm going to coin it ladies first. This particular chapter in your podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I heard your album, it seemed like a good theme for the episode, and I was just like, because I'll go into it more in a little bit, but that's basically the way it started. And well, why don't you tell the audience how you got into being a singer a little bit?
Okay, so I've always been a bit of a ham, growing up, and love music, love art, all that stuff, love dancing, and was raised, with kind of blue collar parents that didn't really encourage it. So the most I did as far as musicality, really, other than taking piano lessons from nuns, which was kind of distressing.
Right.
I was in a cappella choir in high school. Then down the road, I've had lots of careers. Unbelievable. I worked in the film industry and all kinds of fun things, but nothing music related per se, other than I was a dancer on MTV. And
nice.
Twisted Sister took me out in LA one night.
Nice.
Yeah. I was on Dorothy Gaynor's I Will Survive. I was one of the dancers on MTV for that. But so anywho, I became a school psychologist, and I love working with kids, and I worked with kids of all ages. And at the same time, I was a single mom. And my daughter, when she was in middle school, which is very tender age, kids are very self-conscious. They want to be part of their group and be accepted and connected and all that stuff. She was being bullied by mean girls. And I think it's because she's so beautiful. But in fact, I think that was a big part. But anyway, I went back to the National Mean Girls Conference in Orlando, and that is truly the name, and happened to get a ride home from the producers. And they asked me to speak at their conference in Vegas the following year. I wrote a book. My daughter and I did an oracle card deck for conversation, started speaking around the United States. And at one point, I think I mentioned previously, I thought, wow, getting up and speaking in front of hundreds of people by yourself on a stage is kind of intimidating. What could be worse? And as I mentioned, I thought bungee cord jumping, skydiving. Whoa, wait a minute. What about singing? So I took a group singing class. The next thing I knew, I was invited to sing with an R&B band. I loved it. It set me free. I think singing is, well, as a past therapist, it's therapeutic. Really, you let it rip, and it's expressive. Yeah. It's got frequencies and all that. So anyway, the band leader had a relative who was a little girl, 6 years old in Nashville, and she was sick. And it was serious. And I write custom poetry is one of my talents. And I was writing a little poem about this girl because her name was Patience. And I kept thinking to myself, what parents would name their child Patience and go through this kind of ordeal when this song that had nothing to do with this child came through my head it was like a train, just like, and I jumped out of bed and said, my kingdom, for a pen. Wrote it down in 10 minutes, called the band leader, and he said, oh, wow, we're putting that to music. That gave me permission. So I just started getting these downloads and writing music just spontaneously. And that song had nothing to do with the little girl, by the way. It was just totally out of the ethers. And so back in 2021, actually 2020, so when all this pandemic or whatever you want to call it started, I was in Las Vegas and at the Liberace Mansion, speaking with another singer-songwriter, and I said, I love to write songs. She said, can I hear some lyrics? I spoke some lyrics. She put me in touch with amazing musicians, and voila, during our COVID episode, I was in lockdown in a studio creating my 10-song album, and as a passion project. So, and now I'm writing songs for other musicians and having fun.
That's pretty awesome, really.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. I mean, that really is. Wow. There are parts of that that should be a book, actually, but eventually maybe. But all right, well, Tina, what album did you bring, and why did you want to bring it?
Well, let me think. It was a tough decision. Okay, like I lost sleep at night thinking about it, because I love music, but I just kept coming back to my album. I'm just saying. So what I do as another sideline, I have an online business where I'm like a Cyrano de Bergerac in drag. Okay, so I help people compose what they really want to say to remedy or transform any type of relationship strife. And so I entitled my songs or my album Love Letters, because songs are that. They come from the heart. They're a message. They influence. They're dynamic. And yeah. So Love Letters by Tina Rose is my 10-song album.
Oh, so sweet. Before I get in way too deep, my man's gotta earn his keep. Some might say I'm just a tease, 'cause I can bring them to their knees. Better not waste my time, or you'll end up back of the line.
Yes, and well, Chancy, actually, I'll let you go first since I already knew what order I wanted to go in tonight. But what do you think of her album, Chancy?
Well, I mean, honestly, it was it's kind of hard to put it into words, really, because it's not. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm not trying to find a way to put it down. That's not what's going on here. Like, there were different. It's like I don't want to say an amusement park, but for lack of a better term, refer to it as an amusement park, because the different songs were like different rides. Like the opener, Your Kiss, just it's like it's like riding a heavy roller coaster. And then there's other songs that do the same thing. And then also it's like, you take the hard plunge down the first hill, and then it goes around a couple of turns, and then it kind of calms down. Up another hill. Here we go. There were also elements that I felt were like the old smoky jazz rooms. Mm-hmm. And like Amy Winehouse-esque, not to say like an emulation or anything like that, but there were songs where you could hear it, and not necessarily a full jazz, but not necessarily full blues. I enjoyed it. It wasn't something that's always in my wheelhouse, but it's always one of those things that when I come across it, it's always like, oh yeah, right, I forgot. I like this stuff too, because I was in choir for 10 years as well. So it's like I had to listen to so many different genres and styles of music that it was just like, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I think, I align with what you're saying, because it is kind of a roller coaster. It's not boring. And
No.
No.
yeah, and
A bit spicy if you learn how to read between the lines.
you think?
Yes.
Flirty.
And we'll go with that. And Chancy, leave it to you to have an answer that basically involves like a circus. But
Hey, we're not doing that.
goddamn circus.
This is a different kind of episode, all right?
Goddamn circus folk. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, when I first heard your album, like I was like, wow. Like I was immediately impressed. Like the first few samples I heard of, like the couple songs I played to try to find a match for it. Like, which that's a whole nother process I'll get into later. But that's more my own personal taste in music than anything. But it's incredible. Like I listened to it it was the last CD I chose to listen to for this week because I wanted it to be last after I heard the first few bits. I'm like, all right, I need to have this fresh in my head for the episode because it's that good. I can't just play through it and forget it. Like some guests who ended up not coming on the show anyway. But
I thought you were gonna talk trash. Like I was like, don't you dare!
No.
Don't you say if you say anything about
No.
Tracy Chapman, I'm coming through the phone, sir.
No. No. People who were supposed to be on the show but weren't there, Chancy, whose albums were subpar.
I know. Once I realized you weren't about to talk trash about one of my choices, I was like, oh, my bad.
But yeah, Tina, I really I enjoyed it. Like it was like Chancy said, it really was like up and down. Like it's good because it wasn't just one note the whole song. Like you could actually tell when a different song was starting, unlike a lot of CDs I've heard in the past where you can't tell and you look down and it's 3 songs later, you're like, when that happened? But it was magical. Like there definitely were some songs I like more than others, but as with any CD, that's going to happen regardless. But it was overall an amazing CD, and I enjoyed it. A couple of them even made it into my like songs list on Spotify. So there you go.
Wow. Well, it was so funny because it's kind of a novelty, like I said, passion project, bucket list kind of deal. The musicians primarily. I mean, I also hired Jamie Shadowlight, who does jazz violin, and Kent Evan did a harmonica riff on one of them, and Chris Del Camino did the saxophone. But the other acoustic in there was the brothers Corin, who are from Australia, and they were the opening band for Pink and Bon Jovi and Journey and Coldplay and Rod Stewart. And so when I was introduced to them by this woman in Vegas, we created an agreement and we got on a Zoom call, and the one brother, pardon me if you're listening, Isaac, I think your accent's so cute. Okay. So he says, so we love your lyrics. They're so alive, but have you possibly thought of a melody? And I went, well, duh. How could I write a song without a melody? And he goes, no. Most artists we work with have the lyrics, the words, no melody, or the melody without the lyrics. And he said, can I have a listen? And I said, you want me to sing a cappella on a Zoom call at 11 a.m.? Okay. So
just dead cold, not even a do re mi, just flat out,
not even a la la do re mi or any of it. And so anyway, he calls me the next day. He goes, well, I recorded your voice, shared it with my brother, because I assumed that they actually would have a different singer. They'd been in the business for so long. Here I am, a novice, so to speak. And they said, so first off, we don't want anyone but you to sing, and we want to produce every single song you've ever written. End of story. And like I said, we had a contract, and they reduced, their fees for creating the music dramatically and the whole thing. So it was really, I feel like it was sort of karmic, this whole experience, because I did volunteer to do the work with the kids for those years, and just sold the books and cards to offset my travel because I love children. And I think this was God's grace, if you will, this whole experience. Yeah. And one of the most fun-filled experiences for me anyway was doing this.
Well, Aaron says she's
Hi,
excited to check out
Aaron.
your music.
Also, what's up, Chris? That I didn't want you to think, or CJ.
Well, on your CD, what would you say your top 5 songs are, Tina?
On my own CD? Okay.
On your own CD.
All right. So I would say Earn His Keep, which is a real girl power song. And actually that song was, it was accepted for a Tarantino style movie with George Lopez and Tara Reid. And then with COVID and all, they ran out of budget and it didn't happen. But I think that's a very cool, it's like a iconic kind of flavor to it. It's period piece, if you will. It's like, that, like you were saying earlier, Chancy is, that kind of smoky bar, kind of R&B-ish, jazzy. So I really like that one. Calling You Out, I like that one. And that one has a personal story to it. During the COVID situation, we were all in lockdown. Someone contacted me through Facebook. Now I'm very low tech. I'll just say that. Very. So I didn't even realize somebody could call you on Facebook. I had no idea. So he called me on Messenger, and very nice man. And we started having conversation, FaceTime, and then when things cleared up, he said, let's go to dinner. I'm going to come down. He lived about 45 minutes away, and he stood me up. Can you even imagine? So that Calling You Out was my, what do you call it? My comeback to that. And so it's done in jest, and it was a lot of fun to do that. So I like that. I like my Cool Blue song because I think it's got warmth about it, and I just really like the mood on that. And well, of course, Your Kiss is always fun. I really love men, so that's good. And and let's see, and then the other song that I wrote with intentionality, the only one that just didn't come through me, but I just went, oh, wait a second, I need to write a song about my letter writing service. So Love Letter, that one I really like that one. So I like Soul Glow too. Okay, well anyway, I like them all.
All right. And Chancy, Aaron saying hi to you.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I was actually kind of taken back. What's up, Aaron?
And Chris said it's a diss track.
It is a diss track. Yep.
And Aaron said it's a clap back.
Clap back. Yep.
But,
as the kids would say.
Yeah, as the children would say. But Chancy, what were your top? What were your top?
Literally,
album?
She actually named every song she named was on my list somewhere. So like the honorable mention that I had was Earn His Keep. Number 5 is Love Letter. The only song she didn't mention was number 4 was Heartstrings. Number 3 for me was Cool Blue. Number 2 was Calling You Out, and number 1 was Your Kiss.
Oh wow. Wow.
That's why I kept making them faces. I'm like,
oh wow. Yeah, the Heartstrings one, I actually wrote that because I was so grateful that this R&B band leader, Gregory Michael, asked me to join his band. And so I thought, okay, I just wanted to write him a thank you, I guess. Heartstrings.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, actually, it's funny because she named almost all my top 5 too, but there was one she did miss. I think, yeah, just one. I think one no one mentioned yet. But number 5 was Calling You Out because I did get that was a diss track from the lyrics and it was kind of cool. Number 4, and this is the one no one mentioned. Number 4 was Up in Smoke.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one tremendously. And then number 3 was Earner's Keep, which the whole time I just kept thinking this song be even awesome if it had like a sequel where it's a duet with a guy and it was called like Earn Their Keep or something.
Yeah.
Almost like an old 40s, 50s style ballad type thing.
Yeah.
A call and response.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
I want to bring romance back, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I don't know. That's what I was thinking. I mean, kind of like how Will Smith did "Girls Aren't Nothing But Trouble," but then he did a bonus song on the one version of it called "Boys Are Nothing But Trouble." So he did one for both, like the girls and the boys. So kind of like that, gender neutral type thing. But number 2 was Heartstrings because that song was awesome. It was a really cool song. It was a really good song, and the lyrics really had me going. And then number 1 was Soul Glow because Soul Glow is like it was the music. Like the music in the back of it was just like trippy almost. Like there's this one song by a band called Dog Fashion Disco called Magical Band of Fools. And it reminded me of a very like lower version of that, like not as like energetic, but like kind of like the same melody.
That's hilarious that you said that, by the way.
Because you were thinking the same thing.
Well, I was just going to say the Soul Glow. I'm a beach bunny. I'm California, San Diego, and so I kind of grew up in the beach area, and I love the the idea of life being like you're sailing through it, and it's like you get to choose the oceanographic geography, I guess, or whatever. But the sentiments around that was, I wanted to have that vision of just like really letting go and letting it fly and having your soul glow. It's like, what are we doing here if we're not having fun, right? So anyway,
my only hiccup was that listening to that song, I kept thinking back to Coming to America.
Oh,
that nobody. Yeah. So there's a commercial for it's essentially like Jerry Curl, but the name of the product was called Soul Glow.
Oh, seriously?
And literally, and it has like its own theme song. It's like, just let your soul glow. And I saw the song title. I was like, I gotta listen to this, and I'm listening to it. And it's in no way is it like does it take away from the song or anything. But I'm listening to it, and it's like I'm picking up the Dog Fashion like he's talking about, and then at the same time, I'm like, Coming to America. Like I'm just it's so awesome.
Wow, I never even knew that. I did not know that, and I was
that's how my stupid brain works sometimes.
Yeah. I was on Rachel's. She's an attorney that helps people that have been victims of violent crimes. And anyway, she had me on as a guest because of my letter writing and whatever. And she listened to my album and she played that song and she said, "This is going to be my wedding song, Soul Glow." She goes,
nice.
"That's it. I'm getting married to this song. That's it." So.
I could see that, honestly. I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is time now, I believe, to move on to the before we do that, comments. Erin said you're inspiring her to finally get back to the studio.
Cool. You go, girl.
And CJ said he misses the old 80s style Cali beach parties.
Yeah. Got to bring those back.
I mean, I can't relate. I came in halfway through the decade, so I got nothing.
Yeah, I came shooting out the end of the decade, so no, I can't relate to that either. But Chancy,
I feel
What you gonna say, buddy?
I was like, I feel like I kind of missed out.
I think you did too. I think you did too. No, seriously, I ran away from home when I just turned 18 without telling my family, and I went to Maui, straight to Maui. And
nice.
And sailed around and drove a Boston whaler and gave parasailing rides and just had so much fun. So I'm walking down the beach because I had this boyfriend who had a 75-foot schooner, and we toured the islands. And then I'm walking down the beach in Waikiki, and the surfer goes, "Is your name Christine, Tina?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, I think your father's been looking for you for like 6 weeks." And it was my dad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's how much of a beach person, that's what an affinity. I was willing to just, without even a care in the world, sold my little Beetle, beat up Volkswagen with surf racks and stuff, and headed for the islands.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very nice. All right. Well, Chancy, what CD did you bring to compliment Tina's here, and why?
You mean what CD did I bring, or which CD did I want to bring?
All of it. You know how it works. All the above.
So initially, because he was like, "Hey, I have this great idea," which it is a great idea. He's like, "Let's do female singers," and I'm like, "Really?" So there's this. It's like a super heavy metal band, like hard heavy metal, and the lead singer of the band is this. I don't want to say dainty because it's not the right word, but she's very petite. She's very small, and she has this voice that she does the shrill highs, the deep lows. Like, you listen to the song and you just are like, no, not OTEP. It's I wrestled a bear once. But I know why I could see why she said OTEP, though. I could see why she did say OTEP. But literally, like, there's a song on the album I was going to choose. It's called Taste Like Kevin Bacon. And literally in 10 seconds, she goes from shrill highs to guttural lows, just like descending into the depths of madness. And then the guitars are crazy and everything like that. And he's like, "Dude, are you trying to get everybody to hate this?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll pick something else." And so I did what I always do, which is, nice! We got an Iwabo lover! Yeah! Suck it, Jeremy! Anyway, so I'm sorry, Tina. This is what we always do.
It's great. Horrible. I love it.
Go. Oh, hey, sweet. So the thing I always do if I'm not sure, I'll go to my YouTube music and I hit shuffle on my like list. And Tracy Chapman came up. So the problem is that like all my favorite songs of hers aren't on the same album. So I went with her greatest hits album. Because, Tracy Chapman's, aside from just having exceptionally iconic music and lyrics and just the sentimental attachment I have to at least two of her songs just on that. Oh, now that's cool too. Spirit box. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, it was like I said, with the sentimental value I have to some of her songs, like it was just like, oh, it was almost kind of like fate. I was like, I need to come up with a great female singer. And I was like, if the first one for my shuffle doesn't pan out right, I'm going to pick Patsy Cline. And Tracy Chapman popped up. So I went with her. I went with her greatest hits album.
You get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove.
And what did you think of Chancy's album, Tina?
Well, I love Tracy Chapman. I mean, I've done karaoke to her. Okay. So I love her vibe. And yeah, God, there's so much I love about. Okay. So now I hope I played the game right, because I kind of skipped around at Tracy Chapman's songs. So I'm hoping, okay, let's cross our fingers. But my number one was Give Me One Reason, because I love the tempo of that song. I love the acoustics in there. And it's what I like about that, her music is you don't forget it. You know, her melodies are really strong. Her emphasis, she's a great drama queen in a good way. And, you know, it's like, oh yeah, we know, oh, that's Tracy Chapman.
Every time we go for a car ride, Casey puts on "Give Me One Reason," just because she knows that it'll sucker me into singing.
Okay,
And that's
me to my next one. So how come she doesn't sing "Fast Car"?
Who?
When is it Cindy that drives the car? Is it?
Casey. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, it's all right.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, well, I can sing "Fast Car," but I mean, I'm the one that does the singing. She does the driving.
Oh, okay. But I just thought it was a pun, because you said every time she gets in the car and we drive, and then, you know, one of my
I saw what you did there. I think
yeah. One of my picks, in fact, for Tracy Chapman was "Fast Car."
Hands down. I mean, you can't not.
Yeah, it's, you know, even though the lyrics ignite this sense of I don't know, fear, sadness, desperation.
No, I was going to say melancholy.
Melancholy, all those, but like emotional, you know, desperation kind of thing. You know, it's like, I'm really fearful, I'm really sad, I feel rejected, I feel abandoned. But the tune of it is the opposite. Give me a fast car. You know, it's like really, you know, it's not boom, 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 boom. You're not going to be, it's not a dirge, okay? I mean,
it's like, it's almost as if it's desperately inspirational.
Thank you. I love that. That's a wonderful way of explaining that. So that
I do words good.
You do. I love me, and I love me some words. I mean, I'm like word person, so I love that.
I've been slowly trying to teach my girlfriend's 5-year-old how to say the biggest word in the English language.
Really? And
he can do it. He can do it if it's broke up. So like I have to do, you know, new, mono, ultra, microscopic, silica, volcano, caniasis. He can see, like he can follow along with it, and he gets 3/4 of it on his own through memory. But you know, it's a long word and it's really tricky. But well, hey, the fact that he's 5 means nothing. There are Russian children who are 5 years old that can play chess better than I can. You started teaching him at 3.5. That's true. I did start teaching him 3.5.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, don't get me started. I'm going to tell you stories about kids. So I'll get on an old tangent here. But okay, so are you ready for my number 3 song on her?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Baby, Can I Hold You? Okay. So that I felt was really, again, just beautifully orchestrated and beautifully expressed. I love those sentiments. And, it's a song about forgiveness, but can I hold you? I think that's really amazing. And then, and you know which one I loved? And now this one was off of, okay, there was Talking About a Revolution. Love that one.
Oh,
and and you know why I love it? I mean, I even appreciate it more is because I think we're in a revolution right now. I do. That's my thought. I think the planet's never going to be the same. We're going through, the dark night of the whatever, and we're going to come out of this. But it's when you think about the lyrics, it says more people are going to rise up and get their share. More people are going to rise up and get what's theirs. You better run, run, run. And finally the tables will turn. So when it talks about, people that have their agenda, these leaders, they're going to be running. And so I that's me personally. I just think it was just profound to listen to that. I enjoyed it. And then the final one for Tracy, and this one was off the album, I believe, so I apologize. However, it was an older song that she did a revised rendition of.
Yeah.
Stand By Me.
Yep.
Stand
It
By
was
Me.
on. I think it was on there. Yeah, I think it was on there.
Oh, was it?
It was a live bonus track at the end.
It was a live. Yeah, it was a live version. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. That's such a classic. And like you say, it brings back a certain nostalgia. So
Yeah.
A style, that Stand By Me. It's like a ballad, but it's cool. A cool ballad, That's my take on it.
Yeah. Well, Chance a lot, you give me this album, and Tracy Chapman is one of those people I always knew the name. I always knew she was a singer. Never could identify one song to her, but I was asked before yesterday, but that's just the way it was. I of course knew some of the songs. I'm like, oh, okay, I now know who sings these at least. But I rather enjoyed it actually. It was long as shit though, dude. Come on. It was like an hour and 20 minutes.
I'm sorry. I wanted to get all of my favorite songs onto one run. And I wasn't going to be like, oh, I wanted to play this CD because of this song. No, it's like, listen to it, pick and choose, do your thing.
Don't get your panties in a bunch, dude. But
I mean, I live. This is how I live. This is how I live.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good freaking CD. I enjoyed the hell out of it, honestly. And I mean, towards the end, got a little too Jesus-y. Like, I was just like, getting a little too into some community here and shit. Like, no, I can't do this. But
I mean, teach their own.
CJ says,
"Oh, I fucking yes, yes, I fucking love Living Color."
But I overall enjoyed the CD, Chancy, and it was entertaining. Like, it was a good CD. Some of the songs were actually bangers, but yeah, some of them I was just like, yeah, no. I mean, I think I actually put a couple of hers in my like songs too on Spotify, so that's saying something. But what were your top 5 on your own CD, Chancy, before I give you mine and surprise you?
Actually, I have 2 honorable mentions. I was gonna pull you and put the whole thing in there because it really could every single one of them could go in.
Chancy, if you pull me, you're not putting it all in there.
That. Oh God. Number 7 was actually Talking About a Revolution.
Yeah.
And I noticed that as I'm kind of looking at these lists, I chose a lot of these a lot of it was like either sentimental or what it said to me. And I get where you're saying how some of it was kind of churchy, but like, number 6 was Sing For You. I mean, that I love that song. I can't even explain why. And number 5, All You Have Is Your Soul. Like, for me, that wasn't, I mean, you could take it churchy if you want to, but I look at it as if you want to keep it in a realm of like anything, and it's all you have is your essence. All you have is the energy that you have to give. And if all you do is just give away all you have nothing left. Don't do what I did. Don't sell your soul. Don't give away too much of yourself for nothing. Number 4 was change. And it was another one of those where you're just like spiritual. Yes, very much so. Number 3, telling stories. I mean, it also kind of, ironically enough, with what you were saying, ties into exactly the reason you got into making music in the first place, which is kind of neat. For me, number 1 and number 2 are basically tied, but since I had to do one or the other, number 2 for me is Give Me One Reason, and number 1 is Fast Car.
Yeah.
But that's mostly like, honestly, it could have went either way. If it's, I'm choosing my favorite for singing purposes, obviously it's Give Me One Reason. If I'm choosing sentimental purposes, it's Fast Car. It's just, I mean, it's a win-win really. And if you ask me, I mean,
Wow. What'd you think of Baby Can I Hold You? Did you hear that one?
I did, and to me, it kind of reminded me of the part of Fast Car where she talks about her father. About the reality of what the situation was, but she still had to take care of him. So it's kind of like how you were saying, like, the situation is as it is, but can I still hold you?
Yeah.
Oh, and Aaron's full of compliments tonight for you.
Cool. Love that.
Nice.
There you go. That's what we're here for. But all right, Chancy, and here's my surprise for you, buddy. I got 3 honorable mentions for your CD. So,
that doesn't happen very often. I'm pretty impressed.
There's a lot of freaking songs, but yeah. So my number 8 technically was Telling Stories. Number 7 was I Promise, and
that was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 6 was Speak the Word, even though it is kind of Christian.
Yeah.
But number 5 was Stand By Me, because that was an awesome cover of that song.
She did great.
Yeah.
Number 4 was Subcity, because that was kind of like a song I didn't expect to hear on that CD, and it was just kind of impressive. Like, it kind of gave me like GTA vibes for some reason. But number 3 was Bang Bang Bang, because like at first I wasn't digging it.
That's a good one.
Then like in the middle of it got like I started getting like what it was trying to preach, and I was like, all right, she was a little ahead of her time here. And then number two was Give Me a Reason, or Give Me One Reason, of course, because goddamn typos. But I mean, yeah, it was I knew that song, of course. I didn't know it was her, but it's a good song. And number 1 was Fast Car, because I did not know that song was her. I thought that was like Dave Matthews Band or something. I thought that was like a guy singing like.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard people say that a lot, that they mistake the singer of Fast Car for being a man, and it's interesting, but I could see to some extent how it could happen. But
I mean, it honestly sounds like Dave Matthews, like Crash era, like how he sang back then.
I could see where you'd pull that. I could see it.
And I love the instrumental in Fast Car.
Yes.
It's really unique. I mean, it's really got its own, it holds its own ground, that one. That's what makes it so memorable. You hear it, as soon as you hear the music come on before the lyrics, before she sings, it's like Fast Car.
Yep.
It's ingrained in us, Yeah.
It even feels like there's like in the guitar element of it, the way the notes are played out, it's not there, but it feels like she's playing with the slide, but she's not.
Yeah.
Like on that, like, because you got the first couple chords and then it slides up. It's like she just does it so fluently. It almost sounds like she has a slide, but it's just her finger.
Yeah.
That's something that always catches my ear specifically about that song whenever it plays.
Mm-hmm. And like my album, it's all acoustics. There's no percussion.
Yep.
But it still works, And I love the drums, but it just turned out
sometimes. Yeah.
All right. Which that brings us to the final city tonight, and I wanted to do yours first, Chancy, because just chronologically she came first, so it made more sense in my mind. And plus, I go on rants with mine sometimes. But
yeah, and I saw it and I was like, good old floor jack, here we go again.
Well, yes, because when I first heard Tina CD, I was trying to think what I could bring, looking through like all my artists. I'm like, I can't think of anything but this one. I'm like, I can't think of any. I could think of a couple, but I was thinking like I was gonna do Cher for a goddamn second. I don't know why, but I was gonna do Cher for a goddamn second. But
I mean, it would work. Cher's good.
I know, but it's just like it would have been like, no, I need to do something I listen to regularly anyway. And then
if you would have chose Cher, I would have definitely chose Patsy Cline for sure.
I mean, I even thought Dolly Parton for a second too, but
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I also thought Dave Matthews Band first too before I came up with the female singer thing, but
right.
And Chancy would have been like, "Fuck you, Jeremy," but
I would have listened to it begrudgingly, but yes, I would have definitely cussed you up and down.
I am not a Melissa Etheridge fan there, CJ. Sorry, buddy.
I mean, I can see why he suggests it though, because it definitely.
But yeah, there's a lot of women that could have gamed, especially not from the '90s. But this CD I brought, which for those of you who love our show and worship it, know that we do a lot with Nightwish and
the dozens and dozens of worshipers.
Yes. Hey, we're a small cult, but we're growing. But I love Nightwish, and their singer right now is, as I said her name 1,000 times, is Floor Jansen. So
Floor Jack.
You're a dick. But you're a dick.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
We got to play Ernest Deep again. Okay, so.
When you can cut a motherfucker's mic. But yeah.
Hold on.
You good? You good? All right, good. Be a mime. Yeah. So
I cut my mic for you. I thought that's what you wanted. I can't even do what you want and make you happy. What are you? What are you? We're like an old married couple here. What are we doing?
We basically are. But the album I brought was Floor Jansen's Paragon album. It's her debut solo album that just released last year.
Stronger than all of the pain, broken but beautiful. All this time you were invincible. Master the pain, the cradle of your story, changed by disdain. Starting life once more, pushed into recovery.
Because she's been with like 3 different bands, including Nightwish, since she started singing when she was a teenager, and she's amazing. And I've been dying to hear this album, but I was waiting to bring it on the show, so I had a reason to listen to it in full.
So we gave you one reason to bring her?
Oh.
Well, no, I was waiting for the right episode to bring her on, because I can't just bring her on any episode, because it just wouldn't match up with a lot of stuff we do. Yeah, Chancy, I got it. I was just ignoring you.
But is that what it was?
That's what it was. But But yeah, I was dying to hear the CD, and I wasn't disappointed. Of course, it's freaking Floor. She's amazing, and she could be a scream queen. She could be an opera singer. She could be just a almost popish singer, like she was on the CD. Like it's just like she can just do anything. Like she's amazing. So that's why I wanted to bring her in, because it was the closest thing I could think of to Tina's music that I actually have on my regular listening. But dying to hear what you thought of it, Tina, because a lot of people don't know Flora because she's from Finland.
Or the Netherlands. Is it Finland or the Netherlands?
Well, the band she
Yes.
plays with, the band, yeah, one of those answers. The band she plays with.
I was just saying yes. The answer to your question is yes.
I don't know. The band she plays with is from Finland, so I don't know where she's from.
Okay. So I actually wasn't familiar with her. So it was the first initiation into her her sound, her music, and all of it. So my number one is the My Paragon song. Okay. And what I noticed in listening to her music is she seems to have a common theme to most of her songs, which is sort of like hope, but sadness. There's like, it's yeah, but, or a what if we could, or, so it's sort of, I guess you could call it the blues in that sense of the word, it's thoughtful lyrics, but, anyway, so My Paragon was my first. Her second one, my second choice for her was Hope. And I liked the softer, like you were saying, she has a wonderful vocal range. She can hit the highs and the lows. And I really loved her softer lower tones. For me, that really resonated. Again, there's a lot of despair, sort of the antithesis of hope in her lyrics. But I think that would call the person who's listening to it, call out their discretion, if you will, to that, and maybe paying attention to words and like, I'm a word person. So I think, yeah, that's a good thing. The third one that I enjoyed was called Come Full Circle. And it's hopeful, it's positive, yet it does point out what's wrong with this picture. So the theme again is about clearing our hearts, breaking the chain before we are broken. So has that kind of earthy calling out to the universe feel to it, like help me here. I gotta get we gotta transform, we gotta change this. The next song that I really enjoyed was called Me Without You.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the creative lyrics. It's sort of a girl power song, actually. And it's almost like she's kind of like getting the last word in on this one. So in essence, her meta message throughout this song was, there is a me without you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I don't think she's a hater. Okay. I think she's in it for love. Okay. That's what she's aiming for. But like it says, one of her lyrics is, you can lie to me. You can say, we've meant to be, still words can't change the way I feel. So she's taking a stand and she's walking away from an old pattern. My background is psychotherapist and whatever. I'm going to read into everything. So you have to bear with me, but that's part of my joy in listening to songs, because they are letters, they're messages, Okay. So that's that one. Then we go on to the next, which I chose, which was Winner. And this was off a different album. I'm sorry, I'm a bad student. I didn't follow directions. Okay, so it was off her, and it said Amsterdam album. That's why I thought she was from Holland or the Netherlands.
Actually, CJ confirmed that. She is from the Netherlands, and Nightwish is Finnish, though.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay. And anyway, I really enjoyed this one because the Winner was just that. It was just all like reflecting positive messages, positivity. And she does, you're right, she has an amazing voice. She has a wonderful range and very compelling voice. And then the final one that I chose was called Fire. And like the melody, her voice, it was so enchanting in this song. And I loved the way that, like we were talking about Tracy Chapman and how she kind of turns things up and catches your attention by changing the cadence and the rhythm, you know, and so in this song Fire, I kind of noticed that was going on to a certain degree. There was changes in the punctuation of her voice and the tonality that drew me in. Okay, drew me in to want to go. Okay, what? Oh, okay. You know. So yeah. So anyway, that's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, Chancy, before I give you your inevitable chance to unleash your full chanciness on it, and your eyes just glowed red there for a second when I said that too. That's the funny thing. But
So bold of you to assume, sir. So bold of you to assume.
But yeah, my two honorable mentions. It's actually funny is because my two honorable mentions were with Me Without You and Hope. Those are my two honorable mentions because they were good songs, but they just weren't top 5 material. My number 5 was My Paragon because it was a good song, but I felt like it was almost just too simple for her. Like I feel like it's too simple for her. Number 4 is The Calm because everything about that song was amazing. And then, funny enough, number 3 was Storm because that song, the guitar was amazing on that song.
Well, calm before the storm. I get it. Okay, go.
And number 2 is Invincible because I didn't think I was gonna like that one when I first started listening to it. I didn't think I'd like that song, but I got towards like the middle. I'm like, all right, this is actually pretty good. I could dig this. And then number 1 was Armored Wings.
Oh yeah.
Like I actually sent that one to my wife on Messenger. Like when I heard it, I'm like, this song makes me think of you. I'm a good guy, yay! But but it was just like that song was a surprise. Like I didn't even see that coming in that album. I was like, oh, nice. So yeah, Flora impressed me on her first time solo. I mean, she always impresses me in all the bands she's in, so I'm not surprised, but still. And Chancy, pretty go. CJ says, fun fact, Flora was supposed to be the singer before Net. Oh, he means for Nightwish, but due to record label politics, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The
Politics always got to play a part in something.
Mm-hmm. But Chancy, what was your review and top 5 of my album to close us out?
Honestly, I would have much rather drank acetone than have to sit through another. No, I'm just playing. No, I liked it. I really did. Like, and between the two of you, you actually both you completed my top 5, legit. Like between the both of you. I mean I love to give you a bad time, Jeremy, you know, calling her Floor Jack and always razzing you about bringing her or you know, Nightwish and every, you know, it's good. I'm not trying to detract from that. I got to do something. But my number 5 was Armored Wings. Number 4 was The Calm. Number 3 was Me Without You. Number 2 was Come Full Circle, and number 1 was Hope. That's why I was just like, what's going on? Like what? Like, why is this happening? What's going on? And then Jeremy does his list. I'm like, come on now. I don't even have a list. I got nothing here.
Oh my gosh.
And this is why I do the things I do. It's because it's already, well, I mean, everybody's picked my picks. I may as well, I may as well go JoJo the Idiot Circus Boy, yeah?
I was gonna say, calm down there, Jojo. But
It's
No,
okay.
JoJo.
I'm technically circus folk, so it's okay.
back in your cage, Jojo. But yeah, so we hit all 3 albums, folks, and that was a lot of fun, and we paid appreciation to a lot of female singers. Good times. But
Yeah.
and of course, we want to thank Tina for coming on because she's been an awesome guest for this episode, and we're a pleasure.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure to have her on. And just so everybody knows who's listening to the podcast eventually, the song you heard in the beginning of the episode is one of Tina's. So
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't hear it.
Oh no, it's going to be on the audio version. He always does that whenever somebody comes on and brings their own work. He always puts that out first, so that way it gives people something, to. I've seen what you did there.
Wow. Well, I am honored. It was a lot of fun. I love your energy, and this was just great. So
Thank you. That means a lot.
I've never done anything like this, this type of platform where the discussion is such as it is, and it really, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of being a kid, and just playing a game with it. It's fun. Yeah, enjoyed it very much.
Well, we're glad you enjoyed it. And,
Yeah, for sure.
And just so, where can people find your music? Where can people find you?
Okay, so I have like a little site which gives, I think, maybe some 30-second clips, but it also shows you all the platforms that I'm on, and that's tinarosemusic.com. Otherwise, if you have Spotify, if you have Apple Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, Bandcamp, just iHeartRadio, all of them, I'm pretty much on most platforms. So all you have to do is download. Now, I just want to caution, there are a couple of other musicians with my name that popped up after me. I think there was one from like the 1980s before me, but I think now there's maybe a couple more Tina Roses. So if you're interested in my particular songs, because I don't do a lot of marketing, and just like I said, this was pleasure for me. Anyway, it's Tina, it's Love Letters with an S on the end, because one of the songs is Love Letter, so you'll just get that song. So Love Letters with an S by Tina Rose, and you should get all 10 songs. And one song is being auditioned for an HBO series.
Nice.
Yeah. And another song is being auditioned for a Paramount Point. And I don't know if that's I'm not familiar.
It's going to be their new streaming platform. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
Nice.
Wish me luck. Everybody put me in your prayers. That would be awesome. And I just want to say before I leave or close out is, I think it's really important to look at the arts as whatever it is, whatever you love to do, but the things that are creative, because we all are creative beings, and some of us forget it or we've put it on hold. And if you can return to it and ignite it, you'll be so grateful. I know I am. That's all I want to say.
Well said. Very well said.
So thank you so very much for having me. It was.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. It was our pleasure.
All
Absolutely.
Right. So
Chancy, where can they find you?
Well, outside of here, I can be found on the Book of Faces under my name. Instagram and TikTok is the Red Eye Roundtable. Twitter is Red Eye Table. You know, the darkest depths of despair, the void, your worst nightmares, that rock off yonder. If you look, you'll find me. I'm around.
Coming out of the corn and all. But you can, of course, find both of us on Facebook as Paranormal Normal / Maniacal Music Musings Podcast with S Facebook group. You can also find us on Twitter and the Gram as @JuggaloBastard, and on TikTok as @JuggaloBastard Podcast. And you can find us on YouTube as Maniacal Music Musings or as Blind Knowledge Network, where we are a member of. Feel free to watch us stream live there on YouTube. And until next time, and oh yeah, listeners, next week our guest is the return of CJ Plain. So we'll have to see what madness we get into next week with that. Until then, everybody, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for coming on, Tina, one more time.
Take another breath, don't go to sleep. You've seen this all before and it cuts deep. But it's hard for me to stand by what you weep. Hang in that, darling. I know you need to bleed it out. And I'll be by your side when you need to scream it out. Wish I could take the sting, be like armored wings around you, and I will keep you all through the storm that surrounds you. You'll be stronger every day, but it cuts deep. Years has melted into one large stone, too heavy to roll it out alone. But it won't stay forever, you should know. Hang in that, darling. Wish I could